Hi, this is Stephen Burns from Solutions in Mind, Empowerment through Coaching and Education. In this video, I'd like to discuss confidence. Now, in my opinion, confidence is one of these things that tends to be multi-layered. So in this video, I'd like to discuss what I consider to be the three main layers of confidence. Now, these are not the only components, the only layers. This is entirely subjective. But in my opinion, from experience, these tend to be the three main ones that can make a big difference to people's lives. So the first layer is confidence as a feeling. You could go all the way down to the sensory level and describe confidence as a whole bunch of sensations and feelings inside your body. That for you, maybe confidence is where you feel a tingle, where you feel an energy across your chest, or maybe a warmth. Maybe you stand in a particular way, perhaps it's shoulders back, head up, or maybe it's something else. That you can go right down to this very specific sensory level and describe confidence in those terms. Now, one point I want to make here is that there is a difference between a feeling and an emotion. A feeling is more to do with the sensations that you experience. So you're going right down to the sensory level and saying, yeah, it's like a tingle in my stomach, it's like a heat in my chest, it's like a warmth all the way down my arms, tingling down through my fingers. Whereas an emotion is where we take the sensations that we experience as a human being and then we put a label on it. So often what happens is we feel a certain way and then we go, oh, what is that? That's confidence, or that's fear, that's anxiety, that's relaxation, that's motivation. So we've taken a sensation or a bunch of sensations and we've attached some kind of label to it. So in relation to confidence, one of the useful things to start to explore that can improve the connection you have with your own confidence is to ask yourself the question, what do I feel when I feel confident? So what sensations are going through my body? When I'm being confident, what is actually happening physically? Do I feel a tingle in my stomach? Do I feel just an overall glow that just seems to permeate throughout my entire being? What actually is happening? So that's a question that you can consider. It's a question you can reflect on. When you are being confident, what are you feeling at the sensory level? And you can even write a description of this in your notepad or an iPad or something like that. And the more aware you are of the physical sensations that are happening inside your body when you're being confident, then generally the more that you can experience them because it becomes something that's familiar to you. So the second layer is confidence as a skill. So it's as a result of developing some kind of ability. To share with you a quick story, one of my favourite recent pastimes is golf. I'm not particularly good at it, but I enjoy it. I live in Scotland here. We have some of the best golf courses in the world. Unfortunately, we don't have the weather. Now, I was playing with a friend fairly recently, and he was going through a really bad time on the golf course. And when I said to him, I said, what's going on? And he said, well, it's all about my confidence, because at the end of the day, golf is all about confidence. Now, while there is some truth to that statement, in my mind I was thinking, no, golf is not all about confidence, golf is about skill. When you develop a skill, when you develop an ability, that then as a result naturally makes you more confident as a person. That a lot of the time people think that we feel confident first, then we become skillful in something. There is some truth to this, but most of the time it happens the other way about. It's very organic. We naturally start to develop a skill and then we produce confidence as a result of that skill. So say for example you think you lack social confidence. A lot of the time it's because you perhaps don't possess the same amount of social skill as someone else. And when you start to develop the social skills, you then start to naturally develop confidence as a result. It's a consequence of this ability that you're developing. So it's kind of like the other way around. It's kind of like, I'm sure you all know someone from perhaps your working environment, or maybe it's an acquaintance or a friend, who has all the confidence in the world, but is absolutely hopeless at their job. Now we have a special word for these people. They are of course called arseholes. Only kidding, I'm sure they're very nice people. But they are fly-by-nights, they're con men, con women that just hope to fly by the seat of their pants and hope that they never get found out because they don't really have any skill to back up that solid confidence that they portray on the outside. This is very much veneer confidence. So when you start to explore the layer of confidence as a result of being skillful, it starts to add a little bit more depth on the subject. And you want to ask yourself, what do I have to develop in terms of my skills and abilities in order to naturally start to be more confident? Sometimes it's okay to lack confidence if you don't yet have the skill to back it up. That's good. That's a sign that you need to step up, you need to improve, you need to develop. If you went for a job and managed to get it as an airline pilot, you don't want to go in on the first day and say, "Hey, give me a jumbo jet. I have all the confidence in the world, I'll be able to figure it out." That's a good place for you to have a healthy lack of confidence when it comes to flying a jumbo jet plane. You want to develop the confidence through the skill. So that's the second layer. The third layer I'd like to discuss in this video is the idea that confidence is actually, to a certain extent, one of our default settings. That when you actually get out of your own way, when you see through all the negative self-talk, the limitations, all the problems and challenges that we experience as human beings, then actually beneath the surface, beyond the crap, we are actually naturally very confident people, very confident beings. And if you think about it, there is a lot of truth to this. I think we all have a certain level of default confidence. When you came out of your mother's womb, there's a very good chance that you didn't go, oh my God, I don't know if I'm doing this thing right, this thing birth. I don't know if I'm birthing right. And all the other babies, they're so much better at birthing than me. I need a coach, quick, give me a therapist. It doesn't work like that. You just do it. You just are. You just be. You naturally are involved in the process of a successful birth. And I think this is the same when we are young kids as well. We tend to just be rather than think about our being. We don't have to necessarily generate feelings of confidence to do things. We simply just allow ourselves to explore. And for me, this is a really profound thing to reconnect with, is our innate natural default way of being in the world. And this can produce some really lovely natural feelings of confidence. One metaphor or analogy that I like to use is the analogy of the sun and the clouds. If you think about the clouds as all the doubts, all the negative learnings that place restrictions on yourself that prevent you from doing the things that you would like to do and experiencing the world in the way that you would like to experience. And if the sun was your own natural sense of confidence, a lot of people think that just because the clouds are there, that means that the sun isn't still shining. But actually that's not true if you think about it. Even when it's cloudy, you can still feel the sun's rays, just perhaps not quite as powerful as you would like it to be. So if you think about your confidence, your natural default amount of confidence as the sun, and the clouds as the negative feelings or the negative thoughts, then it's all about, I guess, just getting out of your own ways, allowing the clouds to part so that you can start to feel the sunshine, the rays of your own natural default confidence. So hopefully that metaphor is not too esoteric, not too Buddhist. I think it's still fairly practical, but I really like this idea that deep beneath the surface, when you look beyond the doubts, the restrictive learnings that we placed on ourselves throughout time, that actually we have something really powerful that exists in us right now, that we don't necessarily have to generate anything else on top. That would be in addition to this natural confidence that we have. So these are, in my opinion, three fundamental layers of confidence. So I guess the key questions that are worth exploring are, first of all, when you are being confident, what is it that you're feeling inside your body? At the sensory level, what's going on with your physical being? What sensations are flowing throughout various different parts of your body? but then also to consider what skills do I need to develop personally, professionally, in order to develop confidence as a result of that skill. And thirdly, and this is where we do go a little bit esoteric, is to ask the question, when I get out of my own way and I just simply be, then what kind of confidence just naturally exudes? That's a really interesting question when you explore it. So hopefully this will give you a better understanding of how confidence is not just one simple thing. It's very abstract, it's subjective, it's open to interpretation. But when you start to look at it as something that's multi-layered, then it can really flesh out your understanding of this entire topic. So hopefully you found this useful and it gave you some interesting insights into the subject. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep updated with future videos. So that's all from me for just now, and I'll see you later on.